So if anything, I need to set the alarm clock to be at like, okay, I get up, I might have to start getting up 10 minutes early. But nonetheless, I am here, and let me go to the screen to do a sound check, and then I'll go right into editing and labeling the video. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Ollie oxen free. LA, are you there? Can you hear me, LA? Present. Okay, I can hear myself. All right, I want to silence the noise in the background with the other videos. Yo, I thought I pushed, I actually thought I pushed mute on there already. I shouldn't be getting any, breakage in the video from the, YouTube people. Only breakage, sound breaks and popping I'm getting is just through Twitch. Well, that's better than just hearing the sound breaks and stuff through let me pause that. Now if I push pause, I don't think it's going to interfere with what I'm actually doing on the other thing. All right, keep going, girl. I'm moving for Twitch's setup. Now I'm going to go into my YouTube studio and put a title in. Thank you guys for already putting the thumbs ups in. Now, let me see. YouTube, open up a new window so I can get today's video labeled. Get today's video labeled. That's what you want to do before you start. Why am I hearing echoing? Hello, hello, hello. I'm hearing echoing. Let me turn this down. Welcome to the beginning of the video where I like do sound checks and stuff to help get things going. Welcome in. Good morning to you. Welcome. Hello, it's me, Addie, from last time. Sorry I changed my channel name, but how are you doing? What's going on? Good morning to you. I'm doing all right. I'm pretty darn comfortable. I'm reminding myself to take my time while I'm on here, because what's the rush? I'm currently going into YouTube Studio so I can put a proper title on today's video. However, we are in the right topic, if that makes sense. It is Wednesday, so I'm wearing my Ladybug Minnie Mouse onesie, and I'm going to be talking about things in reference to the YouTube guidelines and trying to learn all this stuff on my own. And basically what it is you watching me learn stuff about learning YouTube in real time and trying to figure out why it's so confusing and figured it out together, because every day is something new on YouTube to learn. And so it's exploring the YouTube Bible. So I'm going to put is, or should I put are the YouTube rules, the YouTube rules open for interpretation. P-U-T-A. I know I spelled that word wrong, so let me see. It's underlined, so it's interpretation, comma, it's spelled I-N-T-E-R. Wow, I spelled it so wrong, it's not even coming up in my spell check. Let me see what Grammarly says. It's spelled interpretation, I-N-T-E-R-P-R-E-T-A-T-I-O-N. Wow. So there's the title. Are the YouTube rules open for interpretation? That's what I'm going to be talking about today. I'll get back to you guys in just a second. Thank you guys. You had your lunch? No, right now it is 5:10 a.m. over here. It's early in the morning. So I have my cereal and I have my water with me. What's going on? Anknu, thank you for coming in. Andre Goodson, what's going on? Good morning to you. Remy Jeremy, hi. Thank you guys. Who we have here? Sunly Randerg. I'm doing great. I'm getting my video set up as I speak with you guys. I feel very comfortable and relaxed. Hi, Anthony Henderson. Oh, good afternoon. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much, Sunil. That means a lot. Wow, cool. So I had that in here. Exploring the YouTube Bible. That's what I call it, because it's a lot of rules and it seems like it's always ever changing. Ploring. I want all of you guys to have a good night or a good morning here. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. YouTube. There. And save. Next thing I had to do is put my hashtags in the description. I think hashtags still work, but that's one of the rules or changes that went into effect according to all the thumbnails I see floating in my YouTube timeline about you don't have to use hashtags anymore. Stop using hashtags. Hashtags are non-effective or ineffective, blah blah blah. I'm like, y'all trying to make it hard for these YouTubers with the ever-changing rules. Here's my hashtags for today's video. I'll copy and paste them down into here. There. Build the plane while it's flying. Yes, of course. Have you guys ever heard of that? I'm trying to think of the YouTuber who said that a lot. Building the plane while flying. Ladybug. YouTube. We have YouTube News. YouTube News. And I have that in there. I did all right, guys. I have it labeled. And let me go to customization so I can make sure anyone can come in and chat and hang out with the cool people, the cool peeps. Yesterday, the video premiered for On the Freeway with the Kellys. I'm happy about that. That's a series that we have over here. We're slowly and steadily getting that going. But I'm happy to pretty much launch that. It's with my husband and I. We hang out on Sunday mornings on the freeway, by the freeway, near the freeway, and just hang and chat while the cars go by on the Sunday morning. There. Thank you guys for your patience while I set up my video for today. Oh my gosh, my eye is itching. Y'all, she's gonna get pink eye. Ew. Minimize this video really quickly and go back over here. I'm looking at a couple of screens at the same time. For those of you who are unaware, that's what I'm doing. Now I'm going to pull over here so I can engage with you guys a little bit more. Make the screen bigger. I had to put ladybugs in the chat because that's what I'm wearing today. Ladybug. Oh, look at all the flags. Beef Curtain. Thank you for coming in from the UK. I can really see the screen now. Beef Curtain. We've got UK coming in. Love from the UK. Lymphasion. What's going on? Pete Mingoosen. Justin Valles. Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm going to look for some ladybug and put in here. I hope you guys are having a good day and a good morning. If it's not, I hope that your pray that your morning becomes successful, gets on the right track, because anything can happen. Thankfully, what I learned from Thanos from watching the End Games and all those Avenger movies is that life can change in the snap. So if you're currently having a bad moment or waking up to some bad news or still dealing with some news that you may have gotten, just think in just a moment, just as fast as it changed to bad, it can change to good. So I believe that, and I'm rooting for you guys to continue to have good days, and that your mind opens up to seeing things in a fresh perspective. If you're in a situation, I want your minds to change into something positive so you can see a situation not be as bad, if that makes any sense. I'm totally rooting for you. Thank you in this glorious morning. Thank you for pressing the like. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Today I'm in my ladybug costume, and it's so comfortable. Just imagine if we could wear these to school or to work. I mean, as as freely as people have been dressed nowadays, so loose and comfortable, and basically walking around in their underwear and feel so comfortable about it. I think walking around in a nice onesie, not the ones that are so tight, but a comfortable, relaxed fitting onesie should not be a crime. And I really believe that because folks are getting away with so much. So me being walking around like this, or you walking around like this in the onesie, should be the least of anybody's concerns. What's going on? We've got Bacon Hair. That's a cool name. Yo, the user's name in here is Bacon Hair. That's funny. One of my favorite animals, Elizabeth, is the cow. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I actually wear my cow suit. And I have a good time wearing it. It's really baggy too. I think it's the man size. But I like it because it makes the pockets bigger when I get the larger size onesies. I can fit my cell phone in the pockets if I order a man size, and I could put snacks in the other pocket. Thank you for asking. Let me put some more stuff in here. We're just warming up. Well, technically, I'm just warming up. I have my water today, but what I did is I have bottled water, but I zapped it in the microwave so it can be warm, so it can be soothing on my voice. Apparently, my voice is still waking up, but I've been up for a little while already. But this is actually the first time I'm really talking in the morning to exercise my voice. So having said that, my vocal cords are still waking up. And I have Fruit Loops today with my snack. I keep dropping my cereal. I'm trying to show y'all the cereal I have. Fruit Loops and my cute little Batman bowl. See that? Batman! I am a Batman fan. I'm a Batman fan. Will you please? Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Hey, please sit down. That's very kind of you, but it's too early. I don't want you to scare the people. They gonna be like, what the age? I am sober. I am sober. Thank you for that. So for this morning for breakfast, I'm not hungry yet. But for breakfast, I would want waffles, eggs with syrup. Now, don't that sound good? So perhaps that's what I'll have after I finish hanging out with you guys. I'm actually going to type that in there. Wow, you guys. It's 2:19 where Neo Sapiens is at. Good early morning. Over here it is 5:19 a.m. on a Wednesday. It is August 20th, 2025. Where did Friday go last week? Chile, how are you doing? Shouts out to Chile. Chile, thank you for coming in, and I was wishing everybody to have a wonderful morning. And I was wishing for all the new people to have a great day, to be safe, and to know that here on LA TV, what I say is from the bottom of our heart. Just as Thanos snapped his fingers, just know that things can change just that fast for us, albeit in our mindset. We can go from a sad mindset quickly to a positive mindset. We can have one set of thoughts turn from something negative to an aha moment. So I believe that for all of you who are watching now and in the replay gang. I am so happy for you all. You guys are brave and beautiful people. Know that every day you wake up, this is really amplified in life. We are in the science fiction days for sure. So you guys are brave. You're warriors. You're strong. We've got a lot on our plates, don't we? Collectively as humans, be yourself. Remain positive. That's one of the ways you can be vigilant. And it doesn't have to do with finance. It's about trusting your guts, utilizing what you have around you, asking for help to see the things in front of you that you can use to help make your day better, brighter, and stronger. Sometimes life can get in our way where we have blinders on our faces and we don't see what's in front of us. The answers are usually right there. So I'm wishing for you all that the blinders be removed from you guys' eyes and from your mind so you can see the answer and things will become clear. That's my morning wish for you guys, aka prayer for you guys this morning. I just felt that I should do that. Thank you for the love. Welcome to LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Today we'll be exploring the YouTube Bible. Exploring the YouTube Bible. I call it that because the YouTube Bible is full of so many rules, just like the Bible. And so I'm wondering, are the YouTube rules open for interpretation? Because I swear, some people read the rules from the YouTube guidelines and they follow them to the letter and things go to pot. When some people read the rules out of the YouTube guidelines, they interpret the rules a different way and excel. So do you think the YouTube rules, aka the YouTube Bible, the rules and guidelines are open for interpretation and you have to follow your guts when reading the YouTube Bible to get the best answer, to yield the best results for you? I'm asking that because to me personally, it seems that way for me. I am having a great time. Oh, look at John's biting his nails. Look at that emoji in there. What's going on, Benjamin? I sure did already. I actually did for everyone to have a positive day, to have a positive life. And to have the blinders removed from your eyes and from your mind, because most of the time the answers are right in front of you. Everything you need is in front of you, but it's very difficult to see. So I want that to be removed from everybody's thought processes and for their perspective to be renewed. And having said that, you will have a great day. Exploring the YouTube Bible. I put my hashtags in the description. I made sure that the chat was open for everyone, even non-subscribers. Shouts out to the ones who have subscribed. You guys are already up to 12 likes. Thank you so much. I want to put a survey in here to ask, do you think the YouTube guidebook is open for interpretation? I'm typing in the survey. Do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? INT there, question mark. Interpretation is spelled INTERPRETATION. Enter, so it's spelled INTER, preparation, TATION, interpretation. Do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? I am putting a question in there. There's the survey, guys. Survey's up. Feel free to participate in it. Can you believe we're already 19 minutes in and I'm having a good time? Thank you guys, Sam Johnson. Wow. You're from India? From India? Welcome in from India. Wonderful. Hey guys, shouts out to India. I'm like from America. I'm currently in America. Welcome from everywhere. Earlier in the chat, we have someone putting their flags in. Let me scroll up on the computer monitor to let you guys know who's here. We've got someone in from the UK this morning as well. I don't know what this flag is, but it's at the top and with a timestamp of 5:12 a.m. It's a pretty color flag though, but that means they're from another country. It didn't state which country, but welcome in though. Thank you guys for coming in. Let me get my thingy on here, my tab propped up so I can start exploring the YouTube Bible and figuring out some more things. I have the question actually pre-written from last Wednesday when I talked about YouTube. So let me pull up my notes once again. Shout out to my mod Chile and the Heezy. We have, where are my notes? Well, here's my notes. It is, that's from Thursday's notes. Here's Wednesday's notes. I found them. Not Wednesday from the Addams family. Speaking of Wednesday from the Addams family, have you guys been bold enough to try the Wednesday's Adam meal of misfortune from Wendy's? I don't want to try that one. It actually don't look that yummy to eat. And the chicken nugget sauce. Oh, I don't want the chicken nugget sauce. I'm like, when I go to Wendy's and they ask, what kind of sauce you want on your nuggets? I'm like, any sauce except the Wednesday sauce, please and thank you. Oh, she's like, hi, I'm Wednesday from the Addams family, and I'd like to introduce to you the Wednesday meal of misfortune. I'm like, pass. Oh, people be littering, of course. So I see the Wendy's bags floating around time and again. And it is the black bag from Wendy's because people have purchased the Wendy's meal of misfortune. It's so weird to see the black bags floating around and Wendy's is on it. I'm like, it's not Halloween yet, but here we go. What my question I'm going to type into the question I'm going to type into AI overview is, what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? Because where I left off exploring the YouTube Bible last week, it had 3 questions that I thought would be interesting to ask. One is, what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? The other story topic question is, what are common creator mistakes that violate YouTube guidelines? And number 3, tell me more about how YouTube updates its policies. So I'm typing in question number 1. Now I kind of had a roundabout understanding of what ambiguities meant, but for clarity, I looked it up. And ambiguities, according to the dictionary, says the quality of being open to more than one interpretation, which is why I titled the video, what's going on, official YouTube India? Thank you for coming in again. You were here yesterday too. Today is Wednesday, so I'm the Minnie Mouse Ladybug, and I'm talking about YouTube guidelines and rules and trying to understand all the complexities and changes therein. Thank you so much for coming in, official YouTube India. You ain't ready. Part 2 is back in here. Thanks, guys. Ahmed, hi. How are you? Thank you for the laughter emojis. I appreciate it. They're really happy to look at. I'm setting up my question now, and I'm going to type it in. What are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? ambiguities. I press enter and I'm waiting for the AI overview to auto generate the answer / guidelines for me. Cow. Yeah, the cow will be back Monday and Tuesday. Monday and Tuesdays is morning mood. Wednesdays is today exploring the YouTube Bible. Thursdays I come in as myself with random topics, and Friday Hercules the shark will be on. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. So as you can see, for those of you who don't know, over here we have a variety of characters who come on. And I just have a good time expressing myself. Express yourself. Ha ha. Yeah. So I have the question up and it's already loaded. So good. Good for that. I'm actually looking for my ladybugs to put in the chat before I start. I'm curious and excited to read what the answer says because I really want to learn this stuff. That's why we're here. We're here to learn, right? We're here to apply what we learn to make ourselves better and to help the people around us. The people around us is our world. So, AI overview. What are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? Let me go to here it is. Here are some examples of the ambiguities in YouTube content policies. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate your conversations down in the chat. Thank you for participating in the survey and also liking the video. It really helps and it means a lot to me as well. Let me scroll down so I can see the monitor over here. Good morning, guys. Some of you are already going to work. You're already hard at work. Shouts out to the ones who are already hard at work. I hope that the ones who are working super, super hard, I hope that your workload be less. Because we're not supposed to be having to work this hard and have nothing to show for. That's not right. So I hope everybody who's working aren't having to work to the bone with nothing to show. The times are changing, the economy is changing, and I hope you find opportunities where you can have more time to rest in between work. Here are some examples of ambiguities in the YouTube content policies. Shouts out to AI Overview. Thank you, AI Overview. You've been an extreme help with helping me learn and understand things more clearly. I recommend that you all use AI Overview to get those questions, the answers that you've been searching for or wanting clarity on. And another reason I like AI Overview is the fact that when I grew up, there was a lot of things I was not taught, and there's things to this day that I still want to fact check and study and see for myself. And I may feel kind of embarrassed to ask, so I'll look in AI Overview to glance things over so I can take things for my understanding or have a compass so I can then ask someone in real life about certain things. So please be advised that AI Overview is to help us. If you have personal questions that's been in your head and you want to ask, use AI Overview. Here are some examples of the ambiguities in YouTube content policies. As to why are some examples of YouTube policy content so ambiguous? Number one, defining intent to shock or disgust viewers. We're going to read what this means. YouTube's violent and graphic content policies prohibits content intended to shock or disgust viewers. However, the definition of what constitutes an intent to shock or disgust can be subjective. Here we go. Making it difficult for creators to know where the lines are drawn. Contextual nuances and moderation. Now, it's a lot with this. I'm going to read it. Contextual nuances and moderation. Content that might appear offensive or harmful in isolation could have a valid context within the larger video or discussion. I hear this all the time now, where when YouTubers are beefing, they are not listening for understanding. They are not listening in the full context. More, they are listening to put their point in, and that's not how you listen or have a proper conversation. Now, we may not be able to do this all the time, but it's best to develop a form of habit of listening for content instead of listening to be on the defense. So right here, some examples of the ambiguities in YouTube content policies: contextual nuances and moderation. Content that might appear offensive or harmful in isolation could have a valid context within a larger video or discussion. According to Movie One, distinguishing between genuinely harmful and seemingly harmful content requires nuanced and context-aware moderation, and failing to achieve that can lead to unfair context removal and user dissatisfaction. So, having said that, in that it means a lot of confusion. And I just started reading this, and it's already where the lines of confusion can become. I know I'm the only one who's a YouTuber who finds a little confusion in all of the rules of YouTube. So that's why I'm here to try to sort this out from my understanding. Moving forward, there's another bullet point by way of AI overview. Fair use and copyright infringement. This sounds like a big one right here. Fair use and copyright infringement. Let me put this in here. Determining fair use for copyrighted material can be complicated. Who you telling? Who you telling? As the interpretation of fair use laws varies across jurisdictions, YouTube policies related to copyright infringement and repurposing content, like using clips from TV shows, can be complex, and creators may struggle to navigate the nuances of fair use and expectations. I am one of the content creators who still struggles with the fair use situation. Although the answers are right in my face, I'm still not getting it, because as time evolves, social media evolves, and the way you can present, especially with the hard introduction to AI into our lives, it's become a little more complex for me. Evolving public interest. So you guys, I'd like to remind you what the said topic is today, that I'm studying and researching live while you guys are watching me educate myself to the best of my ability in reference to the YouTube Bible guidelines. It is, what are some examples of YouTube content policies ambiguities? Once again, today's question is, what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? And for those of you who don't know, ambiguities, according to the dictionary online to this day, the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. Ambiguities, according to the dictionary of Oxford Languages, the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. And that sounds about right, because all of you who know, those of you who do not know, the dictionary changes the contents of his words. And having said that out loud actually makes me want to reverse cry and cry for real, because some simple words in the dictionary that I used to go by, the content and meaning has changed with the times. So it's very important now, especially people my age and the younger ones too. We've got millennials, I'm a millennial, we got Gen Z, we have the other ones too, to look back into the dictionary to see what the word once meant and see what it means today. So, evolving public interest and misinformation. The YouTube's moderation guidelines are updated to reflect the evolving definition of public interest. This allows the platform to weigh the value of free expression against the risk of harm, even while dealing with potentially misleading or deceptive content related to topics like elections or public health. So what I just read off the monitor, evolving public interest and misinformation. I'm going to reread that again. YouTube's moderation guidelines are updated to reflect the evolving definition of public interest. And they put public interest in quotations. This allows the platform to weigh the value of free expression against the risk of harm, even while dealing with the potentially misleading or deceptive content related to topics like elections or public health. Age-restricted content guidelines. YouTube may age-restrict videos rather than remove them if the content shows a dangerous act but has educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. However, whether an act presents a serious risk of injury or promotes the act are subjective to determinations, which is why I asked, is the YouTube Bible open to interpretation? And having read all of those bullet points of information, I can say, if the professor were to ask me, I could say yes. It seems to me that the YouTube Bible is in fact indeed open to interpretation. Welcome to Exploring the YouTube Bible. Thank you guys for coming in and having a good day with me. Some of you, it's like a couple hours behind who were in here. When I was on earlier, maybe 20 minutes ago, someone said it was like 2 something. So there are 2 hours, no, not 2 hours, 3 hours back. Right now it is 5:42 a.m. on Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. And I'm having a good time talking about exploring the YouTube Bible. I'm learning this stuff for myself to try to have clarity. Bringing all my questionings here because there's so many rules in the YouTube, and it just seems like I have to enter at my own risk, use my spider senses to get this all figured out. In essence, according to AI overview, let me put some flowers in here too. I'll put my flowers down here. FLOWE. I'm glad I was able to help the ones who came in at the beginning of the hour of the show, to help motivate and inspire you. We are all here for a reason. You guys come in at the right time that's right for you. So I believe in that, and I'm thankful for that. Oh, these flowers are pretty. Let me put these down there to put a little pop of color in there. In essence, while YouTube strives to set clear policies, the subjective nature of topics like intent, content, cultural nuances, and the ever-changing landscape of online content can create ambiguity in the application and enforcement of those policies. This can be particularly challenging for creators trying to understand how to ensure their content aligns with the guidelines, and for YouTube's moderation team, tasked with consistently applying the rules across a massive volume of user-generated content. And I agree, which is why I'm here, LA, trying to figure this stuff out. Thank you guys so much for already having the likes up to 17. We're almost at 20 likes, and it's not even an hour in. I really appreciate you guys. I have a survey here, and I want to see what everyone is saying. So far, we have 20 people who participated in the vote already. And I have, do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? 38% of you said yes, and 62% of you said no. I would love for the ones who said no to chime in to express why you think the YouTube The YouTube Bible is not open for interpretation. What's going on? Damon's Diamond Art. Hi, and good morning to you. I'm having a fine time casually resting and learning. It's basically a study with me wrapped up into YouTube. And I have my cute little plushie. There's a deeper dive, so I would love to do a deeper dive, and I'm thinking it's going to be a nice breakdown in here. We're already reading. Here are some examples of ambiguities in YouTube content policies. I hope you guys have a great day. Some of you are going to school. Have a great day at school or at work. I'm quite sure I've had professors in here, teachers in here, students in here, parents, legal guardians, grandparents in here, going to and from, having your coffee, having something good in the background while you prepare for your morning, waking up in meditation before you get on with me, or if not, it's a soft reminder to wake up in meditation. Good thoughts. You deserve to shower yourself with happy thoughts, because if you don't come on here yourself, you might be the only person giving yourself positive affirmations and uplifting yourself. For a while in life, you may find that you may be the only one cheerleading yourself. So it's good to wake up in the morning to tell yourself, hi, things will get better. Things are better. I love you. Forget what all the people are saying. Social media wants me to feel like I'm a loser, and I am not. So waking up, telling yourself all these happy things, getting yourself some coffee, getting you some tea, putting on some good music to keep you in your zone, I highly encourage that. I pushed the button for the YouTube deep dive. What more could they possibly say? I am very curious about it. And here it says, YouTube content policies, comma, while designed to foster a safe and engaging platform, can sometimes be ambiguous and challenging for creators to interpret consistently. Here are some examples of ambiguity in YouTube content policies. Hi everyone, and welcome to the show. Thank you. Please sit down. Please sit down. Hate speech versus satire comedy. Distinguishing between the genuine hate speech and satirical or comedic content that uses offensive language or imagery for comedic effect can be difficult for both human and algorithmic moderators. So they mean robot moderators. As noted by Number Analytics, overboard content moderation systems can sometimes remove satirical content that is not actually objectionable. Here we go. It's so much to deal with, this system overload. So apparently they think humans cannot keep up with the workload to help moderate and filter through all of the YouTube videos that are uploaded. YouTube did ask us in the beginning to upload content. Now they would like for us to have more. We're fueling their tank. So there's gonna be an influx of content coming in, mass volumes. This is the situation that they have to deal with because they opened the floodgates, asked and encouraged us to express ourselves and make lots of content, good quality content. And now they have to implement like computers to help fill in the gap where humans cannot. And right here it says that, as noted by Number Analytics, overboard content moderation systems can sometimes remove satirical content that is not actually objectionable. Meaning, and from what my understanding is that sometimes our videos or content could be removed basically because it cannot decipher if the speech is hate speech or satire comedy, which brings into the gray area of giving people too much power to inappropriately flag your information just because they may not like you, or because their interpretation of what they received may be considered that type of speech. But nonetheless, since it seems to me, welcome everybody, that YouTube is heavily relying on AI to do the moderation, videos are going to get accidentally removed. I think before videos just get removed, they should just be automatically set on private. Dear YouTube, at YouTube, I really believe that before you just delete someone's content, it should just be automatically set on private with the reasonings of why. Like, hey, take certain actions, do this please, and put it back up, but don't just delete it. But definitely put systems in place for your robots to just private the content, and then have a disclaimer as to the reasons why it was done and if there's some actions to be taken. But to just outright delete it, that in turns into like a type of bullying. That's just like me going to work. My manager asked me to set up a display. I did my best to adhere to the guidelines. I asked questions, and I think I did everything right, so the display is set up correctly. And then when I go to lunch break and come back, it's totally dismantled. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Because I asked questions along the way. I followed the guidelines. Oh, it's just something right there I didn't like. Well, instead of just dismantling all the hard work, and we're losing time and money now because you chose to dismantle a display that you asked me to put up, why not just keep the spirit of communication going and be like, I didn't like this, there's a red flag here. If you fix this or remove it or adjust it, then the store policies will be in place. But to just totally dismantle it without letting the person change it, that's wrong. So YouTube and all social media platforms, if you want us to adhere to your guidelines, I think you guys should also be kind enough to not be so heavy-handed in delivering your judgments in reference to accidentally violating a policy. Because as I read these paragraphs and examples, it's constantly over and over saying in so many different ways, saying the same thing, that YouTube it's got a lot of ambiguities in there, meaning it's for interpretation, because it's kind of not a straight walk to get to these answers. So once again, as noted by Number Analytics, overboard content moderation systems can sometimes remove satirical content that is not actually objectionable, and this falls under hate speech versus satire and comedy. Another thing, what are some examples of YouTube content policies ambiguities? States here, thank you guys for coming in and welcome. Public interest, expectations. What's going on, Ashmir? Hi, how are you doing? What's going on, Tarsis? Welcome in, good morning. Hey, Ron, how are you guys doing? You guys came in at the right time. I was able to finally stop and take a breath and read and see what's going on. I'm going to plant some digital flowers in here to put a little pop of color into the chat box. Put some beautiful flowers in here, digital flowers in the chat. Welcome in, and thank you for your ladybugs too. I have been putting ladybugs in here too. Now I'm planting flowers because ladybugs like flowers, at least in the figment of my imagination. Welcome in, good morning to you guys. It is almost 6 o'clock already. I've been on here already for about 50 minutes, and it only seemed like I've been on here about 10 or 12 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun. Welcome to Exploring the YouTube Bible. As you guys watch me actually trying to learn and study and keep up with the YouTube guidelines, I'm doing this live, sorting out the confusion that I find as I try to adhere to these rules. It says here, under some examples of YouTube content policies and ambiguities by way of AI, educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic. also known as EDSA, educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. YouTube may allow content that would otherwise violate its rules if it falls under the EDSA exception. However, determining whether a video has sufficient EDSA merit to warrant an exception can be subjective and lead to differing opinions amongst moderators and creators. Once again, it says subjective, open to interpretation. So depending on which moderator gets your content to cipher through, it depends on whether or not he or she or the algorithm robots will determine if your content is deemed passable or not. So it's open to interpretation. We are hoping that when our videos get reviewed, that we have a solid bridge of understanding, and that when people are going through and reading our content and all of our social media stuff, that it's not so loosely based and open to interpretation. So it's all like free radicals. It's my world. So if I don't have a good day today, everybody gets the axe. No, we don't want it to be based on how you feel in that moment. We don't even want it to be based on how you feel per se. We want these guidelines to be based on at least 3 strong rules. Like they said, reading the contents in full. But if you don't have time to go through all of our videos in totality, and you're just glancing and scanning over everything, that's where another risk and issue lies. Where another risk and issue lies. Because if you're not grasping the full context, videos can be removed, content can be removed, posts can be removed, and so on. So that's what I feel about that. Scarlett Iverson, I don't like ladybugs. They give me a rash if I touch it. I'm so sorry about that. That's too bad that happens. Some people are allergic to bees, and bad things happen to them when, bees touch them. I hope you find a cure for that. That's just not cool, because if you're going out on a picnic, you have to be watching that stuff. I see you guys as emojis. It might be too many emojis, so it won't let me they won't show on the platform, but I am definitely approving it. For example, we've got Lubo. He's got spiders, and he or she's got lightning bolts and all those cool pictures on there. So thank you for that. So if you want to try again to put your spiders in there but less, you can. You might have exceeded the amount of emoji characters. I think you can only do up to 30. So probably try putting in 30 or 29 or 28 emojis for expression, and it may work. But I saw them on my end, and then I approved it. It just may not be showing up for everyone to see. But thank you for your participation in your emojis, though. I saw them. Today, Joshi, I am talking about what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities, and wondering if the YouTube Bible is open for interpretation. And as I read this, it seems like YouTube is open for interpretation, because there's so many things in here and examples that AI Overview is talking about, far as what the moderators have to go through to determine and decipher whether or not they want to keep the videos up or not, by way of posts and so on. So it's listing a lot of conflicts and gray areas as to why I'm trying to get some understanding with this question. Once again, you guys, I am asking and researching what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities. And in the survey, we have people actually participating in the survey. What's going on, Chile? Thank you for coming in. Welcome to all the cool people. That means you, and you. Thank you for living to find another day. Once again, everybody is brave. This world is changing, and you are in it. We are all in this together. So these are the things that I'm reading, and it's confirming what my notions say. Yes, the YouTube Bible is open for interpretations. Because right here it says, however, determining whether a video has sufficient educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context is merit to warrant an exception to be subjective to leading and to lead to differing opinions amongst moderators and creators. Under the reused content section, it says YouTube has tightened its policies on reused content, and that happened, my friends, on, was it the 15th of July? I made a video of talking about that, but it says reuse content and monetization. YouTube has tightened its policies on reused content, aiming to demonetize or remove content that is mass-produced, repetitive, or lacks original value. Here we go with this part. However, defining what constitutes as transformative or original enough to avoid penalties is often unclear, leaving creators to guess how their content will be judged. For example, reaction channels must add enough of their own commentary, edits, and perspective to avoid falling under these policies. So if you were wondering, after the 15th of July, why in the hey are these MFers still up here, still being able to do the same BS? This is why. Behold the legalism of the loophole. Yes, that was a long pause because my soul just shook its head. My spirit just shook its head with sadness. The miracles of a loophole for the people who are in the arena of legalism. I cry. So I'm going to read this again. Reuse content and monetization. YouTube. Thank you, Chile, for coming in. What's going on, Tarsus? Tarsus said, I'm allergic to sharks. They make me bleed. Well, that's very dangerous. You don't want to be in shark-infested waters with the untamed sharks. That's sad. So you'll only be able to hang around Hercules and his friends because they are classy based and they've gone to shark school and colleges and have several degrees in how to be civilized sharks. Moving forward, Hercules the shark will be on Friday. Yay. Hercules the shark will return to us on Friday. Let me type that in. Hercules the shark will be on Friday. Hercules. Come on, keyboard. Work with me, not against me. I'm typing it in. Friday. I spelled Friday, y'all. Wrong. Meow. Hercules the shark will be on Friday. That's a dolphin. Let me put that in there. Cool. Reuse content and monetization. I actually want to read this again. Reuse content. YouTube has tightened its policies on reuse content, aiming to demonetize or remove content that is mass-produced, repetitive, or lacks original value. However, defining what constitutes transformative or original enough to avoid penalties is often unclear, leaving creators to guess how their content will be judged. For example, reaction channels must add enough of their own commentary, edits, and perspective to avoid falling under this policy. So having said that, I want to actually I need to make a note of this because I want to. How can I do this? I don't want to lose where I'm at. I'm going to have to bookmark this page. That's what I'll do. I'm bookmark this page. Let me find my bookmarks, put it in there, and I'm going to go backwards and bookmark this page as well for my notes and future reference. Push done, go forward, and look for my paper so I can write down a mental note for myself. As you know, I am actually studying while I'm hanging out with you guys. So basically today I am exploring the YouTube Bible. And I'm learning for myself to get a full understanding of this because YouTube is my world. Like far as hobbies and things to keep me busy and fun, I like being on social media. So today, if you don't mind, I am going to I had to adjust so my leg won't fall asleep. My leg was starting to fall asleep. Today is 8/20/2025, Wednesday. And I'm writing YouTube on here so I'll know where to come back at. I'm breaking up my things into days so I will not feel overwhelmed as I learn and study. I'm putting myself on a nice healthy schedule so I won't accidentally go past and work over. I have to learn and remind myself to take more breaks. I have been implementing that, and I've been seeing great results, guys. I actually see things a little bit more clearly now that I'm taking even more breaks. Let's say that, even more longer breaks. So I want to write as a memo to myself. Oh, I gotta get some more highlighters. I need to write a sign note. I need to order some more office supplies. I need to get post-it notes. I need more ink pens. I'm finally running out of ink pens, which is good. That means I've been taking a lot of notes. Post-it notes, ink pens, and I need to purchase some more highlighters. And I need another binder to put all my notes in. I type digital notes too, but it's nothing like having both digital notes and pen and paper notes, highlighters and binder. So I wrote that down on the side so I can add this stuff to cart and buy it. So in YouTube Bible, what really made me want to stop and take my notes, guys, is the reuse content and monetization portion of it all. So I'm going to write that down because for those of you who are wondering why it still seems like after the rules went into effect on January 15th that everyone is still doing the same thing, lazy content, and nothing's changed, it's because of the paragraph that I just read. Tarsus said dolphins have a photographic memory. That's why you never see dolphins with a memo board or a pen. Please give me the brain of a dolphin. Please give me the brain of a dolphin. What do you want today for your birthday, LA? I want the brain of a dolphin. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Reuse content and monetization. So it says YouTube has tightened up its policies, but I don't see how and where because people are still doing the same thing. I have enough information written down so once I get off the live today, I know exactly where I'm going. Oh, female dolphin, of course. Hi, Fuji. Tarsus is laughing up a storm. A thunderstorm. Let's see. So, in this topic of, so I can get back into the swing of things, what are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? I'm in the deep dive overview, and it says here, made for kids, content and COPA. Now, I remember, when YouTube got its first social media wake-up call and something more than a jump scare. It was with this. Now, I completely understand it when it came in reference to the little ones, but everything else, y'all are going crazy. So, made for kids, content and COPA. YouTube's policies related to content designed for children under 13 and compliances with laws like COPA, known as Children Online Privacy Protection Act, have been the source of confusion and concern for creators. The definition of what constitutes made for kids can be subjective and lead to automatic tagging by YouTube, potentially impacting viewership and revenue for channels that appeal to broader age groups or family. And I think I fall under this category of getting miscategorized, since look how I present. I'm not your stereotypical YouTuber in my age bracket who's doing this stuff. So I probably get a lot of my things classified by default under the child situation. And what makes me confused is, once again, is how it says here that there's confusion with categorizing these things, because some of the stuff that's deemed for children is bad. I'm like, so you can let them do this and it's classified for children and they're doing that? Once again, YouTube policies related to content designed for children under 13 in compliance with laws like COPA, Children Online Policy Privacy Act, has been a source of confusion and concern for creators. Once again, it has been a source of confusion and concern for creators. The definition of what constitutes made for kids can be subjective and lead to automatic tagging by YouTube, potentially impacting viewership and revenue for channels that appeal to broader age groups or families. These ambiguities can lead to frustration and uncertainty for content creators, who often feel that YouTube's enforcement practices are inconsistent and that they lack transparency in the appeals process. Here, I completely understand this from the bottom of my heart. I feel that last statement completely. Once again, according to AI Overview, a source by that is in affiliation or partnership or work hand in hand or work in tandem with YouTube says it too. These ambiguities can lead to frustration and uncertainty for content creators, who often feel that YouTube's enforcement practices are inconsistent and that they lack transparency in the appeals process. I strongly agree with that. So I am in agreement with that too. Thank you guys for coming in. I am not leaving. I'm just eating some snacks, taking a breath, breathing before I continue, letting my thoughts gather, letting all this sit in, because I am learning this stuff live and refreshing my memory and all that stuff. Where's my water? Thank you so much, guys, for liking the video. I remember at one point I was at like 19 likes. I'm already at 25 likes. That means a lot. Thank you very much for your audience participation. And I'm getting ready to see what you guys have said in the survey. Excuse me. So far, 42 of you wonderful and marvelous people have participated in today's survey. I'm curious to see what the results are saying now. Currently at the time of 6:15 a.m. on August 20th, 2025, do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? 45% of you said yes, and 55% of you said no. The numbers have changed a lot since I've last read this. This is really cool to see you guys' point of view and to see scale on where everyone's at far as thinking of these things. I think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation, leaning on the fact that they should have a strong bridge on how they perceive to go forward and let's say gauging the content that we put up on social media, be it posts, videos, tweets, shorts, and so on. There should be a point where a mutual level of understanding, instead of letting the algorithm and the human moderators be like Westworld when it comes to moderating our content. To me, it's on the level of Westworld. And Westworld, they have some safe pockets. There's only a few safe pockets in the YouTube world of moderation where the videos can go through freely and clearly. But in the grand scheme of the terrain and rest world, that's what YouTube is. I may have to rewatch Westworld again, because boy, that's what I'm feeling. That's what YouTube is right now. Let me grab my notes because there's some other things I do want to make mention to and talk about further in the future. So I wrote down one topic, and let me write down this one, the made for kids content section as well. We have made for kids content, and that. So I have more questions regarding that I'd like to do a deeper dive on, but for now I want to stay focused on the task at hand. Yeah, YouTube, yeah, they're supposed to be asking for ID now. I'm not sure if that's implemented already, but to me it seemed like it already happened without us even knowing, because don't they need your ID anyways? Like if you're ID is license and stuff like that, but to me, if they're asking for information, that's some of the information that's already on your ID anyways, to me that's a soft form of asking for ID. I think with wanting to see the physical form of ID is more of a way so they can get around, so they can stop the people who are getting around just typing in fake ages so they can say, yeah, I'm an adult, let me in. But having said that, even in the nightclub, people use fake IDs still, and half the time, the way the world has changed, they don't even care anymore. They're just turning the blind eye, or conveniently not being at the door when said group comes in. If you can't put them there at the door and place them in the time when things happen, mum's the word. So I don't even think this is going to be as effective as they're trying, because I'm basing it on things like that. They're going to find a way to circumvent around that. So I think their attention needs to be on other things, like perhaps hiring more humans. After all, YouTube is in the modern day technology of jobs. This is where we are. We're in the computer age now. So YouTube is that. Let me go back to where I started from. Let me go back here. I'm going to read the definition of ambiguities again. Ambiguity is the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. Do you think the YouTube Bible aka the YouTube rules are open for interpretation. That's a strong yes for me. Definitely. Earlier, I read from AI Overview. It says, here are some examples of the ambiguities in YouTube content policies: defining intent to shock or disgust viewers. It says contextual nuances in moderation, fair use and copyright infringement, evolving public interest and misinformation, age-restricted content guidelines. In essence, while YouTube strives to set clear policies, subjective nature on topics like intent, content, cultural nuances, and ever-changing landscapes of online content can create ambiguity in the application and enforcement of those policies. This can be particularly challenging for creators such as myself trying to understand how to ensure their content aligns with guidelines, and for YouTube's moderation team, tasked with consistently applying the rules across a massive volume of user-generated content. That is saying a lot. Now, what is a class out there, for lack of a better word, that they have in college where you can follow social media rules? It's not media training, but let me see. What kinds of college courses are out there? Let me look and see. What kind? Good morning, everybody. It is 6:22 a.m. and I am about an hour and 15 minutes into this wonderful live stream. What kinds of courses or classes can I take in college to help me social media rules and ways and laws? Let me see what AI Overview is asking. See, we're going to have a situation on our hands where we're having it now. For those of you who are watching, people or young people or impressionable people or people who are not getting paid attention to, we want the fine line of the Megan situation. Megan meaning like the movie with the robot girl, and where people are becoming best friends with artificial intelligence because they're replacing, unfortunately, what seems to be the authenticity of the human nature of wanting to listen to a child ask questions as we are supposed to. The world is so busy now. People aren't patient now and so self-absorbed about, me. I done had these effing kids, and what about me? Well, you had the kids. Now you have to do your due diligence to carve out some time for your me time and devote the rest of your time to your children. That doesn't give you an excuse not to answer your children's questions. But since the world seems to be shaped like that now, we're turning to AI Overview to give us what humans seem to be lacking. I'm saying that because from a point of view, when I was growing up, I had lots of questions and they weren't getting answered because they didn't have the time. Or I didn't know how to answer questions because I didn't have the time. So having said that, AI Overview is understanding what I'm saying, even if I'm not grammatically correct. It's not using that against me to say like, oh, she's stupid or uneducated. Why would I want to tell her this and she doesn't even know the basic grammar rules or stuff like that? So I'm saying all this to say, if you want to win this fight of humanity, you got to go back to the basic things of lending an ear to your people around you at least. You know? So moving forward in that, let me put this in here and read to find my answer. In college, you can take a variety of courses to pursue specific majors or minors to gain a strong understanding of social media rules, practices, and related laws. Social media specific majors and courses. Social media management marketing degrees. Many universities offer bachelor's and master's degrees in social media management or marketing. These programs typically cover content creation, audience engagement, strategy, ethics, and analytics. Examples include Rider University, University of Tampa, Northwest Missouri State University. According to AI Overview, thank you AI Overview for providing this information. It says specialized social media courses, certificates. Many online learning platforms and universities offer dedicated courses on various aspects of social media, such as social media content and strategy by Adobe, via Corsica, which covers ethical standards and legal compliance. Legal compliance. Social media law micro credential by Purdue University Global, which focuses on intellectual property, freedom of speech, ethics, and policy. Social media marketing certificate from HubSpot Academy. Number 2, in college, you can take a variety of courses and pursue specific majors or minors to gain a strong understanding of social media rules, practices, and related laws. Number 2, communication and digital media studies. Let me scooch this over so I can read it more clearly. Scooch you over. Move over, tab. Digital communications and media majors. These programs explore development, use, evaluation, and regulation of digital communication technologies, including social media. They cover aspects like design, marketing, law policy, and human interaction with digital media. This really sounds fun. They have legal studies, cybersecurity, law, intellectual property law. This focuses on legal issues relevant to the internet and digital spaces. You could explore cybersecurity law programs and degrees. Courses like those offered by Georgetown Law on technology law and policy can delve into cybercrime, data privacy, and intellectual property in social media contexts. Law school curricula. Now this sounds wonderful. I'm going to read what AI Overview presented here. If you're considering a legal career, explore law programs offering specializations in areas like cybersecurity and data privacy. You might find courses on legal issues related to social media and advertising offered by institutions like the National Academy of Continuing Legal Education. Remember, social media is a rapidly evolving field, so staying informed through continuing education and monitoring industry updates is essential, regardless of your chosen college major or coursework. So having read that, YouTube is ever changing. The algorithm is ever changing. It's like it's alive and breathing just like we are. Always changing. Even in the smallest ways we are changing. But it's affecting our life whether we are in tune with ourselves to know it. It's just the same as with these digital laws. Remember, social media is a rapidly evolving field. So staying informed through continuing education and monitoring industry updates is essential. Regardless of your chosen education, college major, or coursework. I definitely agree with that. There, let me put that over there. So I wanted to know if there were the specific types of courses that they have in college. So if you want to further educate yourself on the ever-changing laws of social media legalism. There are opportunities in which you can take really cool courses and learn and expand. Let me go back to where I was at. We did the deep dive overview into reference of our topic here and exploring the YouTube Bible. I'm having a good time educating myself and learning on this live stream. In addition to that, I'm learning and educating myself, refreshing my memory. I'm live streaming it on here, and I'm teaching people who want to maybe know about all this cool stuff. So that's cool. Let me adjust my Minnie Mouse onesie. Alright, my Minnie Mouse onesie. 1Z, 2Z, 3Z, and 4Z, 5Z. I talked to my husband. I was like, wouldn't it be funny if they made a onesie for a giraffe? You know how much material it would take for us to make a onesie for an adult giraffe? It would definitely have to be, would it be a zipper or a button for a zipper or a button onesie for a giraffe? Just think about the neck part, because we're going to fully commit to this. We're going to make the onesie all the way into its neck. How will we keep it up? The hood part. Wouldn't that be cool? So I tell you, it's really fun and cool. Put a onesie on a giraffe. Shouts out to the giraffes. Let me see if I actually have a giraffe emoji in here. They are so beautiful. Have you ever seen the a giraffe's eyes up close? They're beautiful. Shouts out to all the animals on the planet. You know, animals are born and designed to adapt and change. But if you look at nature and see that they're doing some things that are very outside of their norm, that means the earth is moving too fast for them to adapt. Life is supposed to change, but not under the guise of chaos and construction and confusion. Life is supposed to evolve and change, but at a very nice, resounding pace. It's not supposed to be this freakishly fast and abnormal. It's not. It's not supposed to be this way. Shout out to the animals. Animals can feel vibrations, so I know they can hear me. Animals, please be safe, and I hope you all find shelters and home. And I'm sorry that these idiots who's running the world is making life so bad for everyone. It's not fair, and they won't get it until it's too late. They will not get what they're doing until it's too late. That's why we cannot be in the business of saving everybody, for that simple reason. Thank you, Douglas family, for all of your giraffes. I push approve, but it may not come up through there because it might be too many at one time. I think the limit for emoticons is like 30. So if you try putting about 25 of them on there, it might push through if you want to try again. But on my end, I see it and I approved it. It's got giraffes and kangaroos on there. That's funny. What's going on, Zip Ada Dota? And once again, Douglas family, thank you for coming in. I did approve your message. I'm not sure if it's going to be displayed or not, but thank you for all of your emojis with the beautiful giraffes and kangaroos. Let me get a sip of water. I want to continue on with this because for me, I'm on a drum roll of a thought process where I'm actually getting the answers that I need and want. I am reverse crying right now because I'm so happy for technology and to be finding answers outside of reading the YouTube Bible. You guys, it's just so difficult to read the guidelines sometimes when I'm actually in the actual YouTube Bible reading it. I had to go outside the source to get a breakdown understanding, then go back into the actual original writings of YouTube's guidelines, rules, and descriptions to reread it to fully understand. What if we don't have time to do that all the time? The way life is going is trying to design it to make it seem like we don't have time to study for anything. I don't want to get caught in the whirlwind of having to lead on everybody else's understanding and continually rely on my gut feelings because I didn't have time to study or haven't figured out how to study and show myself worthy of in all subjects that interest me. That's the scary part. We had to continue to put ourselves in this position to want to take at least 5 minutes out of our day to educate ourselves on whatever interests us. So we are not just flipping through YouTube, solely relying to get our information from one source. Even myself, you want to have an understanding where you know, like, yo, that's correct, I agree with that, no, that don't sound right. And the things that don't sound right with you, you go and find the research and see why it don't sound right, to validate and strengthen your answer and or your beliefs and reasoning. It's heavy out here, man. This YouTube stuff has me thinking on all types of levels. To me, this exploring the YouTube Bible is symbolic to the world today and how we get our news, and it's always regurgitated. Do you want to eat vomit for every day? No. So it's the same with research and information. You don't want to eat reheated or vomited information, not knowing where it came from or where the source of the energy is coming from the said deliverer. You want to hope that when people are teaching you something, that the information is coming from a non-biased, non-judgmental balance of the scales place. So if they call it like they see it, it will be equally balanced, you know? If anything. Woo. So YouTube ambiguities. The word ambiguities, according to Oxford's language, means the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. For all of my wonderful people who took the time to participate, 50 people voted here. Do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? 48% of you said yes, and 50% of you said no. I am on the side of saying that it is, because it just says it a lot. I don't want to lose my thought. Let me go back to where it first started. Excuse me. Underneath this, it has Google Help, and it's titled Misinformation. Where's my napkin? Oops. It says Misinformation Policies YouTube Help. I'm going to go to it and see what it says. Now I'm going to the authentic actual YouTube Bible right here. YouTube, it says support.google.com, YouTube/answer. Misinformation policies. Certain types of misleading or deceptive content with serious risk of egregious harm are not allowed on YouTube. This includes certain types of misinformation that can cause real world harm. Certain types of technically manipulated content or content interfering with democratic processes. Well, they went right to the democratic processes, blowing past all the other stuff AI overview dredged up far as just misrepresentation of basic information outside of politics, protecting the children, making sure that the stuff that they siphon out for children is for children, and also knowing the fine line between satire, hate speech, and the comedians who have made a living by putting their comedy up there. They have to figure out the fine lines between whether these comedians are satirical, comedic value, or hate speech. They blew right past this and went right to the democratic process. This is why YouTube AI overview constantly says in so many ways that it is very ambiguous. Once again, I will read directly from the source of the YouTube Bible under misinformation policies. Certain types of misleading or deceptive content with serious risks of egregious harm are not allowed on YouTube. Wouldn't it be nice if they put to see their definition of egregious harm content, examples of that? This includes certain types of misinformation that can cause real world harm. I repeat, it says, this includes certain types of misinformation that could cause real world harm, certain types of technically manipulated content, or content interfering with democratic processes. Real world harm also falls under the little things of how they say it's the little things that makes the big punch. They blew past all of the little things that adds up to a big fat problem and went back to what they're really here for. What these policies mean for you. If you're posting content, according to the original YouTube Bible, under support.google.com/YouTube/answer number 10834785, if you're interested, it says, don't post content on YouTube if it fits any of these descriptions below. Are you guys ready for this? Suppression of census participation. And just reading that just made me hurt. YouTube has changed. Remember when it used to be carefree like Disney? Now it's hitting us with all these big old political words. It says, content aiming to mislead census participations about the time, places, means, or eligibility requirements of census, or false claims that could materially discourage census participation. In other words, they're not saying anything. And I mean, they're not saying anything to the average person who is up here to have a good time and want to just make videos for the sake of making videos. It's like they're not talking to us. What that mean? Some YouTubers say, what that do? Official King Pay say, what that word? I'm like, yeah, what does that have to do with us? We just want to have a good time. Manipulated content. Content that has been technically manipulated or doctored in a way that misleads users, usually beyond clips taken out of context, and we talked about that. AI Overview did a deep dive about how the human moderators of YouTube and the algorithm moderators basically don't have the time to go over every video to get the full contents. Thusly, some of our videos are being taken down by default alone because there's no time to get the full context of what we're coming from, albeit by these comedians saying they're still taken down because it's cited as hate speech, but it just turned around and said that it could fall under satire and comedy and self-expression of a situation of current times, which is now. Once again, going into why my topic of today, as I learn this stuff for myself and you are watching me try to sift through this YouTube Bible stuff, what are some examples of YouTube content policies ambiguities? And leading to my question at hand, where you guys are participating in, do you think the YouTube rules are open for interpretation? Do you guys think the YouTube Bible is open for interpretation? Enter at your own risk. Use your common sense and your morality meter to gauge it as to avoid walking on landmines and accidentally getting taken down. This word right here, I had to sound it out because it looks like a new word for me reading, but it seems like I've seen it on CNN said a lot. It's misattributed content. Content that may pose a serious risk of egregious harm. My falsely claiming that old footage from a past event is from a current event. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'll read it one more time for the one time, but you guys follow along if you're driving with what I'm saying. Misattributed content. Content that may pose a serious risk of egregious harm by falsely claiming that old footage from a past event is from a current event. I want to say shouts out to my uncle Mandela. How you doing, Nelson? Thank you for coming in. I learned the word egregious from Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. He always saying something is egregious. Another word I learned from Stephen A. Smith is well, I haven't learned from Stephen A. Smith, but it's nice to hear from him opposed to the church telling us everything's an abomination. Stephen A. Smith says egregious a lot. He says abomination. What's the other word, my sports people, that Stephen A. Smith says all the time when he's describing something that he think is flagrant? He say that foul. He's abomination, though. He always says that in egregious. So shouts out to Stephen A. Smith for teaching us some new words. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Let me see here. So those are some examples of content that's not allowed on YouTube. That is like in the authentic rules, policies, and guidelines of the YouTube actual Bible. Comparing it to what I looked up myself by way of the help of AI overview. So comparing and contrasting the two various forms of sources of information, guys, I would like to rest my case and hat on this question before I close. What are some examples of YouTube content policy ambiguities? Ambiguities definition by way of the Digital Oxford Language says the title ambiguities means the quality of being open to more than one interpretation. Do you think the YouTube rules, aka YouTube Bible, are open for interpretation? As I end the poll here, from the ones of you who voted, it says 51% of you says no and 48% of you says yes. So it's half and half. I want to thank you guys for coming in and chiming in on your reasonings of yay or nay, because it's good to see. It's just very good to see. That's what I'm here for today in exploring the YouTube Bible. Figuring this out and learning together. What's going on, Kendrick Newman? How are you guys doing today? Thank you for coming in. Grand rising to all of you guys. Today I had a very good, informative time trying to figure all this stuff out. We went over the misinformation policies. We went over the term ambiguities. And I also touched on some type of courses you can take in college, so you can get courses or certificates or degrees if you want to educate yourself and earn some type of collegial, if that's the word, that's good enough, collegial backing for it. They have social media specific majors in keeping up with the times of social media laws, like social media management, marketing degrees, social media courses and certificates for social media content and strategy by Adobe via Corsica, social media law, micro credentials, social media marketing certifications from HubSpot. They have communication and digital media studies, digital communication far as programs to explore the developmental use, evaluation, and regulation of digital communication technologies, including social media. They cover aspects like design, marketing, law, policy, and human interaction with digital media. If you want to go to school and continue your education as this world changes, psychology is also a great one. But I also encourage you to not only take psychology, but see if you can mesh some of these media skills into your repertoire to just stay sharpened as the world change. Not to do it because you are scared. I wouldn't want you to lead by fear. It's okay to be afraid, but if you make every action out of the operation of fear, you could be in for some trouble. But to in the spirit of just being in the loophole for your sake and for your family's sake to see what's going on. Because you know your kids are going, this is what they're going to be in, so you want to be hand in hand with them in this. You may not be good in math. I'm not good in math. But if I know if I can take some courses or learn how to keep up with our children and our future children, at least with learning some of the cyber security laws and intellectual property as far as digitally, it will help. And that, my friends, I will close with that. This world is ever changing. Thank you for coming in, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and being brave in what is now officially the brave new world. It's a lot out there going on. Thank you for coming in. You could have been anywhere in the world, especially in this megaverse of YouTube and social media. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. On Mondays and Tuesdays is the morning moon, and I'm in my cool, comfy cow suit. As you can see, today is Wednesday, and right now I am focusing on exploring the YouTube Bible. Thursday, I'll be on regular dressed as myself, talking about random things, random topic Thursday. It might be serious, it may be fun, it might be on the topic that I want to get around to, that I'm just interested in, but that's what Thursday will be about, which is tomorrow. And on Friday, Hercules the shark will be on. Hercules. He is back by popular demand by all of you fine people, including my family too. We are happy that Hercules the shark is back with us. I have multiple videos that you guys can check out. And once again, I want to thank you guys so much for getting me past my personal goal of 5K subs. I am completely satisfied with 5K subs. That's where I wanted to be, and this year I made it. I'm so happy. Thank you guys for freely liking the videos and thumbs up in it. That means so much to me. That's like the new digital currency now. Your time is valuable, and it's actually showing now where things are changing over social media, where time is the new currency and the metrics. So thank you for giving your currency. The new currency of money is giving of your time. Thank you for doing that, because you could have spent it somewhere else. It means a lot to us. The 9-year-old named Angelo. Oh my gosh. How y'all doing? It's nice to see new faces coming in. Perhaps you can catch me tomorrow. The plan is to be on the same time, same station, 5 a.m. in the morning. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you guys so much for coming in. It is currently 6:53 p.m. in the Philippines. Shouts out to all of you in the Philippines. I am getting a lot of people from other countries coming in to say hi, and here's a digital hug. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all. I had to get ready to go because I have a family to get to, just like all of you. I have daily duties and tasks to take care of. My name is LA, pronounced like LA, like the city. I'm not from there, but I'm breezy. Thank you so much for coming in. There you go. Spread the love. Be a warrior for yourself by standing in your truth. Until next time, see you next time. Bye bye, guys.